Mhm. Starting. You are live. All right. Let's see something. Why is this not doing what it's supposed to do? All right, y'all. I'm looking at a red line that should be green, so hold on just a second. Let me make sure before I even start. Let's see what is going on. Okay, turn on the light. I'm gonna do that in a second. Trying to make sure. Okay, let's see. All right, let me turn on the light. It looks like everything is working. Only I can't hear anything. Can you guys hear me? Oh, yes, I can. All right. Turn the sound up. That would make you hear, girl. Y'all, it's early. It's early. Whew. Anywho, so I would like to wish everybody a good start of the school year. I know some kids have already started. Some kids, it's their first day today. In any case, this time of the year always makes me nervous because crazy, just crazy. I have to pray for these kids, everybody's kids in these schools, and make sure that these kids are safe from these crazies going in shooting up these schools. It makes me so nervous. And it doesn't just impact, the kids in the school or the families in the school. It impacts the whole community, the whole country. And it just never fails. It seems like every year there's something. And I'm just, on edge, just waiting. Uh, you know, Even though we shouldn't, yeah, it just never fails. But, we have to be on guard, and we have to teach our kids, um, alike. Be on guard, let them know what's up, so that they are not shocked in this type of thing. Um, Yeah, because some kids just don't know, and it's not just for kids that are public school. This in any situation, any child should know uh, how to handle being out in public. Because it's not like we used to just go out in public and everything is copacetic. There could be shootings anywhere. Um, yeah, you guys might have heard it the other night. There was something up in North Texas. So yeah, and we had El Paso and yeah. Was it Ohio? Just craziness, craziness. Anyway, if you guys have been following along with the vlogs, I've been trying actively to get everything up and current, so to speak, but going a little back and forth. So that's just how I'm working them in, but I'm knocking them out, and time willing, time willing. Um, so the question I have gotten, uh, are we still homeschooling? Are we still homeschooling? Is a question. And I'm going to address that question, and then I'm going to come back in another live and talk about the answer. I'm going to give you the answer, but I'm going to talk about some situations around it because I think it's quite memorable and it's quite relevant, um, pretty much to anybody. But y'all, are we still homeschooling? I don't need to do this, but I'm just going to say, oh wow, that's amazing. It feels good. I was just checking the temperature, but I'm going to still say this. It's 75 degrees right now, which is like the max for me. That's all I can handle. I don't do anything hotter. Y'all, one, it's hot. Two, I'm 45. 45, y'all. Three, it's hot. It's hot in Texas. It is hot. Y'all, D, me and these hot flashes. Y'all, I'm old. I can't handle it. I can't handle it. It's hot. Old. Am I still homeschooling? Well, you guys know that I told you guys some months ago what was going on and stuff that I'm doing, working and projects and stuff like that. I got things to do, places to go. Okay, so in order to do that, somebody asked me some months ago. I addressed some questions. How do I balance things, working and home and homeschooling and all that kind of stuff? And I told you guys that I pee a lot. Okay, I pee a lot. That's peeing a lot. Starts with a P. Anyway, yeah, short answer to that. I have things to do. We have things to do, things to accomplish, and everybody knows that it takes money, it takes time, it takes patience, it takes effort, and it takes the whole family to get on board. You guys know we have a plan. We've had this plan. We talked about buying the other house, paying cash for it, or at least half in cash, and then paying it off within 5 years. That is no short feat. Okay, that means you have to buckle down and discipline yourself, and you have to save, which is not anything new to us, but I'm talking save. Just you have to be really disciplined to do that, and it takes everybody. It takes everybody to get on board with that. Homeschooling has been quite a journey. It still is a journey. We are still homeschooling. Okay. New twist. Same thing I did with the other kids. Same exact thing I did with the other kids. And lo and behold, guess what? We got kids going to top schools. You know, they graduated and moved on, went on to top school. Hey, it works. So if it's not broken, don't fix it. Don't fix it at all. I figure, this is a whole different bunch of kids, these millennial kids, but knowing knowing what we know and training them the way we train them, no worries. I told you guys the decision earlier, having meetings and discussions and stuff like that. Everybody was on board with a change, so to speak. I think I was the one more or less a little hesitant, but it's that hesitation when there's the unknown factor. Okay, y'all, yeah, I got to get to that other video because that one, oh my gosh, the whole experience and the change. It's like I said, the change. I'm 45. I can't be going through no change. The change. Oh my gosh, kick your butt. Anyway, the whole ordeal. I just about was like, you know what? I'm over it already. before it started. So what has happened? Like I said, we are still homeschooling. I'm still going to be putting out videos and, things like that. What I did do is go down the street, gathered up all my paperworks. Man, I want to tell that story so bad, but I'm gonna hold it because it's gonna be a little bit lengthy, maybe. But I went down to the schoolhouse, y'all. I kept telling them, and kept telling them. Now, we didn't stop homeschooling. We homeschooled straight through. You guys saw the other day, I put up the first week and the first full week, and that's past. But we didn't stop. We didn't stop at all. They just went from one thing to the next. Um, did they believe me? No. They thought I was playing. And I came back and I said, no, I'm not playing. And they said, well, where's our stuff? They want the backpack and the lunchbox and the school supplies and in due time. Got them up one day. I said, guess what? Go make your lunch. Everybody make your lunch. Big, little, I don't care. Make your lunch. We got to go shopping. Because I got to go shopping. Y'all saw that stuff I showed you guys. I was not getting ready to go buy some food on top of having to drop all that money on all them clothes and supplies and hoo-ha. No. Because every 5 minutes they want to be hungry. So they pack their lunch. That's a tip for you. Pack your lunch. And we went shopping. Now, I did really good. I can say in that aspect I did really good because you guys know I have been saving up things for a while from Gymboree, which has closed. And sis did good. I mean, I didn't realize at the time what I was picking out and how I was, going about the process, not really trying to match everything, but all is said and done. I'm done with the clothes and all of that, for the most part, and everything came together. I had something that went with everything, 2, 3 things, just mix and match. So I'm like, yeah, okay, that worked. Now I got to start all over again, for later. But anyway, so we took care of that, got all the supplies. Um, you guys, I can't say looking at other people. Let me before I say that, I have this decision. You guys, what we're not going to do is judge. I respect everybody in the same position that we are in. I have seen a lot of families follow suit. Now, not follow suit. I can't say that they were following us, but a lot of families have done the same thing this school year. They have transitioned into public, private, charter, whatever. And I just applaud them because what's happening is I'm seeing mamas getting their lives, and they know that they need the time to get their lives, whatever they're doing, work at home, work outside the house, to better their family, to occupy their mind because they're getting older and they're understanding these kids are going to leave and they have nothing, you know, in life to do because homeschooling does not last forever. So I applaud that. I'm just like, wow, I had no idea. And I'm just seeing, finding out still every day how many kids have transitioned. Now, our transition is not a full transition. We are still homeschooling. We never stopped homeschooling, and we never stopped homeschooling the older kids. I told you guys this a while back, what happened with them. Um, Same deal. We have after school, we have the weekends, we have the school breaks. One was yesterday. Um, all that good stuff. So we have not stopped at all. Now, is this a permanent? No. Every day is a new day. I never told them, okay, if you don't like it, then I'll bring you home. Because like I said, I got places to go and things to do. Um, my expectations, it's a day by day, child by child. I have no idea what's going to happen. I don't have that many expectations. Um, I could not find a nanny. That was my first solution, and I couldn't find anybody. So we went with the next best thing, and everybody knows school, daycare, all it's just daycare anyway. So do I think they're gonna learn something? I probably. Um, could it help them? Probably. Is it the end all? No. Okay. I'm doing what I'm doing. And like I said, I'm going to get into a whole, because there's a whole, it was a bunch of red tape around that. And some things, conversation. I told you guys I wanted to meet with the principal and this, that, and the other, and some stuff. We had a whole family deal and laid it out. And so um, there's a lot going on. A lot going on with that. Um, let's see. What did the kids think? What did they think? They have never, since I pulled them out to private preschool and saved my $2,400 a month, they haven't been back to school. So, yeah. Uh, they pretty much are not clueless, but, it's a new experience. A couple of them had expressed, because they're curious. They want to know what it's like going to school. What, not necessarily, friends and things like that. We had to talk. We had a lot of talks. Our pediatrician brought up some good things to talk about as well, to get them ready. But we had already been, kind of training them for the time. I just knew at a certain time, at a certain point, they would go to somebody's school. I have said this time and time again. I don't bash anybody, put anybody down, disrespect anybody for their decisions or choices, and nobody else should. One, I'm always open to this idea, because if something happened to me, I know good and well nobody else would be able to do what I do, or may not have the capacity. Like I said, it takes everybody around here to do everything. Everybody has to pull some weight somewhere, and I can't expect anybody to give up work hours. And this just comes on the heel of Andrea Mills, passing, and him having to make these decisions, and just being put in tight spots. Um, with the kids, and not want to put them in public school, but still have to run a business from home. And everybody needs to think about that. Do not ever, I'm not ever going to do that. If you're not here, somebody else has to make that decision. And trust me, they're going to put them in school, and it's not the end of the world. They're going to live. They're going to do what they have to do. It is what it is. But like I said, these mommies that have done this, these families have made these choices this year, I totally respect that, because I see where it's going. I see where it's going. They have a plan, and that's like, smart, very smart. It's giving the kids choices as well. I said the kids need to get used to being instructed from somebody else other than mom, dad, grandma, whoever. They have, that's just life. I just think it's kind of awkward to take a kid all the way through, and I can say, if you're going to transition them into college or university or what have you, and they've not had that experience outside of home. Some kids are so sheltered that they have no experience with anybody else, and that's like culture shock to them. That's not good. It's not good at all, because they won't know how to react in certain environments, and that's not what we want. Um, One thing I'm going to say, like I said, the kids, they had different opinions and ideas and things like that we did consider. What was I going to say about that? The In the other video, because I know there's probably going to be questions, I'm going to talk about where I place them, because I talked about this earlier, especially with my little one, state laws and regulations. And this is a big one, and I'm probably going to get some, whatever. I don't care, but it's important. I think you guys should know. Of course, we all do our best with our kids, and we want to do a good job, and this, that, and the other. The reality is we are homeschooling. Some of these kids are not up to par. And the job in homeschooling is, yeah, it's out there. Kids out, homeschool kids outperform public school children. But, good morning. Hey, Ray. It is true, but some of us are not, these kids are ill prepared. If you were to put them in school, they would be ill prepared. That's just the stark truth. I see a lot. I'm not calling anybody out. Myself, it's some stuff. I have an edge, and I'm gonna go into this again to help you guys out. It's something I had to do, some steps in the meeting and stuff like that, stuff I have been doing all along. First thing, I got a little side eye about some things, and I'm like, guess what? I've been following this district scope and sequence from day one. And she was like, uh-huh. I'm gonna leave that there. That's gonna be in the other video. I had to explain what I was using, which we have no laws, we have no nothing. But I told you guys about keeping records and keeping track and stuff like that. What else did I have to do? Or what did I do? Oh, the levels. When it came to the levels, where to place the kids. Somebody had their idea, and we all had our ideas in this house. So that's in the next video. I'll probably come back tomorrow or maybe later on and talk about that. Depending on if you guys want me to keep talking, I'll keep talking. But yeah, and that's what I was just saying about we want to say our kids are here, and in reality they are not. Don't shortchange the kids. Don't push the kids faster. Be true. There's a way to measure these kids and find out truly, not just we're turning these pages in these books and this, that, and the other. If you guys are state testing or whatever, that's a good benchmark. But there are many of us, including our state, that doesn't. But like I said, I have an edge working in the district. I know some stuff. I know some people. The school. Oh my gosh. Drop dead beautiful. The school is brand new. I went with another decision than what I had initially planned. But yeah, drop dead beautiful. It is the only school, it's the biggest school in this district right now. Our high schools are the biggest, the middle schools the biggest. In the state, not in the district, but in the state. They designed this school, in which they need a new one, right? ASAP, stat. Okay, they designed the school with safety in mind. And that just, I was like, now mind you, I have friends that do work at school or have worked, or, at the school. So I knew some stuff. But safety in mind. Just coming into the school, in which somebody may ask, I probably am not ever going to film in that school just because privacy issues. But it's designed different than every other school in the district, because normally when you walk in, it's like you walk in and there's like the administration office on the side. The cafeteria is usually straight in front, and then the gym, and then the library. You got to go in this school like deep to find the kids. There's no cafeteria. You got to go deep. There's no classrooms. It's split up. They have pods. You go down one hall and there's like two more wings that span out. And I'm like, what? Look at this school. The camera. I mean, just, oh my gosh. It's just, let me go to the school. Let me, am I going back to work? No, not over there. Anyway, let me go to the school. I was just like, it's so pretty, but that did not influence me, because I walked into a pretty mess that day. What else can I say? Biggest, it is, our district has done something that they have never done in, how many years have we been in officially? Like 18, 19, 17, 15, 16, I don't know, 15 something years. Anyway, they have opened up for transfers. Never have we had that. You can do that in Austin, but you can't do that out here. Y'all, when I first went in there on the first day, I got to talking to, finding out what's going on. Student teacher ratio is 18, or not 18, 22. So perfect. It used to be in some of them, they were like 26, somewhere like that. But that's it. And I'm like, okay, cool. And I said, well, wait a minute, because she started telling me, we walked down the hall and got to looking. They had a nice little African display and some other stuff. And we kept walking and I'm like, man, just, doing our thing. And I came back and I said, wow, this is really nice. She said, oh yeah, we have this and we have this. Oh, you guys, the library. Oh my gosh, if you guys have seen our public library downtown, the Central Library, their library is behind glass. I'm just like, look at all the books. And they're still growing because it's still new, but it's all glass. And I'm like, what? And the kids were like, Mom, it's huge. So they don't know what school, look like anyway. But they were like, Mom, it's huge. And I'm like, yeah, man, I want to go to this school. So anyway, I asked her, I said, what's the enrollment right now? Because, see, I'm used to like 850. She said 853. 3 days later or something like that, I went back. It was at 1,000. They weren't even open yet. Okay, the school wasn't even open. Right now, it is scary. Because she told me, she said, oh, yeah, we're waiting for some more portables. I said, some more portables? What? She said, yeah, all the fourth grade is going in portables. And I'm like, this big blank school, and y'all still need portables? And it's new? I'm like, what? And I mean, in my head, I can imagine, because I can see where they got these kids zoned. Some of them could be zoned somewhere else. But I'm like, my goodness. She said, yeah, there's one back there. We're waiting for 2 more right now, but we don't know if that's even going to work. So I went back the next week. It was 1,200. I was like, 1,200 already? School hasn't even started. A lot of these people are coming from out of state. I met people from Florida, from California, from Utah, just all over the place. Somebody came from overseas. I'm like, wow. So, yeah, because y'all know all around us is brand new houses. And they're still building. We got some letter home the other day, email, whatever. They didn't anticipate the growth. They were expecting 70 students. And I'm like, how on this earth can you expect 70 when you got a subdivision, a whole nother one coming up behind us? There's one down the street by the high school it's barely started. They just cleared some land across the road. They got half the stuff not even built, which they've been building on for 20 years, right across the street from us, catty corner. And I'm like, really? How could you expect only that many kids? So, other video, but one thing is going on is that is not a deterrent, but it's kind of chaos right now. So they're in at a good time because it's chaos, experience wise. It's gonna smooth out, but it's like kind of hysteria. And like I said, talking to my friends that worked over there, no problem, just chill. It's okay. 2 of my kids had teachers. 2 of my kids had teachers from the jump. 2 of them have subs. So we're waiting today to see if one sub, actually 2 were supposed to leave. One of my kids does not have a classroom. One of my kids did not have a classroom on the first day. So we didn't get to meet her teacher. The other one had a classroom, not even a classroom. It was a side room by the library. So it was kind of like, oh my gosh, I feel so bad sending these kids off, and they didn't even get to the right experience. But it was just, I had to roll with it because my kids weren't the only ones. I wasn't, they weren't special. They weren't the only ones. But it was kind of like, I could stay at home for this. that type of situation. But I had to smile and keep going and just, we work through things and not just quit. So it's different. I think one of my kids' teachers, I think if that's her teacher, just had a baby, and literally a couple weeks ago. And so she says I don't know if she's getting another sub this week or today, or it's going to be her actual teacher. But I'll find that out. And then the other one, I don't know if it's going to be another sub or actual teacher. They don't have enough teachers. It'll work out. Yeah, yeah. I'm not, like I said, the first experience in the other video I tell you guys about. But yeah, it's a lot of chaos because they didn't expect it, the school didn't expect it, the district didn't expect it, nobody expected it. So it's kind of out of our control, but everybody's doing things. So they've opened up transfers. We're not transferring, but I know that there are kids that are going to, the families are going to transfer because there are actually two schools still within like 2 blocks of each other. That's just how bad it is. But again, still with this one, even once they transfer out, they need a new school. They got to start building another one down that way because them kids cannot keep coming down here because it's just too many kids already. And it's like, wow. So, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen then. As far as uh what they've been doing, first day of school stuff, all that kind of stuff. You guys saw a little bit if you watched the first week of school. You saw them come in. I didn't really edit anything out. They kind of talked about this, that, and the other, and yeah. Um, I did take a look around in the rooms and some of the stuff that I showed you guys, the curriculum and stuff like that. They got the same stuff. Um, And like I said, we are still homeschooling. Am I trying to keep up with school? No, I'm not. But I did let them know that this was a transition for them. And this is probably, this whole year is not going to be, uh, this is a whole transition, for the whole year. Um, give them grace, understand that there's going to be things that they don't know because this is their first time. And I let them know that we are still homeschooling, which every one of them were like, yes. They just could not be more happy because a lot of kids come to school and parents, there's no involvement whatsoever. It's barely homework. But no, I'm not. I'm making sure that if there's anything that I told them, if there's anything that they seem like they don't understand, let me know. Um, and they have to understand that the way we do things is a little bit different than what they do, and the way it's presented may look different to them and they may know it. um it just looks different. So there's a lot of understanding in that way. I talked to the kids. It was another big thing. And I'll probably say it again when we had the meeting. It was just fortunate that we had our social worker in the office, and she came in and sat in our meeting. And I had one of the big kids with me too. Um, but she came in, and one of the questions we had was, what would they do if they had trouble making friends, that type of thing. So I suggest if anybody's ever in this situation or even kind of contemplate, and like I said, it's not something you really think about, say I'm gonna do this, but I think everybody needs to be prepared for anything to happen. If you have to go to work, your spouse has to stay home, he can't teach the kids, they're going to have to go to school. Don't wait till, don't blindside them like that. And even yourself, especially if you've been homeschooling from the beginning and you don't have any experience other than yourself going to public school, that's going to be a whole culture shock. But get to know your people, your administrators and your teachers. And oh my gosh, we are so fortunate. Okay, on the day before, what is it, meet the teacher deal, or whenever, a couple days or whatever, teachers usually call. Sometimes teachers will come to the house, but they call. And I got a call, and I'm just like, hello, you know, and they asked for this parent, and I'm like, so and so parent. I'm like, this is Mrs. So and so, and I'm like, Michelle. Oh my gosh! So you guys, one of my kids have a teacher that we have known for like 15 years. So that right there was like that turned the whole other part of the situation before school even started. Because like I said, I was ready to come back home and just say, forget this mess. Yeah. Now none of my kids ever had her, but I had, working up there, a good experience. So I knew her. So that was a plus, and I was able to assure the child that she's very nice. She's cool. She's, really a cool teacher. And it just kind of eased a lot of stuff. And then when the other kids, one of my kids was in here with me. One of my older girls was in here with me when I got that call. And she was like, "Oh wow, I remember her." And when I told the other girls and kids, and they were like, "Oh, okay." So it's a good thing. The other ones we don't know, but we do know a couple of teachers. And one of my neighbors is up there at the school, but we know a couple of teachers. So it is it's nice, to have some kind of familiarity in that aspect. Now, I don't know. This is the full week number 3. And actually, it's not next week will actually be a full week. Let me see. Wait a minute. No, last week was a full week. So we're back to 4 days. Yeah, first 2 days, 5 days, 4 days. Next week will be 5. Yeah. You guys heard them say we only have 2 days for a break. They didn't get a break because they had homeschool work. So, yeah, we did what we normally do. And whatever else they work on in class, that's what we kind of reiterate and touch. I'm looking at 100 on this paper, the grammar and, all kind of stuff. They're doing fine. Book wise, I know good and well they don't have enough books, so they're not really bringing anything. They're not really doing too much because they're still waiting on books. If they don't have enough teachers in classrooms, and obviously they don't have enough books. So, yeah. And I think the thing was she told me one more portable. I think they needed like 4 more portables or 5 more. And one of my kids was actually in the building in the pod and said that they were moving, which that grade was it was only one. The grade wasn't even in the building. Um, but it was only one teacher that got that. And I think what's happening is one of my other kids is moving to that class and that child is moving out of the building. So, yeah. It's just, like I said, kinks. It's all new to them. They don't care. They haven't had any issues. Um, the kids ride the bus, even though it's only 60 seconds down the street. Traffic wise, because we live on a country road and it's traffic. Oh, yeah, that was another experience. The bus. 60 seconds. I don't know. 2 minutes. I don't know. That's all it takes. But anyway, they were an hour late getting home on the first day. So, yeah, and it was like somebody had gone out as far as they could go. And it's crazy because they go out the back parking lot, which they don't, I mean, still another country road, but they go out the back parking lot and come into our place. And they really don't have to go that far. It's like maybe 300 feet. But it took that long for them to get home. And I'm like, wow. But somebody went out and went to see if they can see. And they came back. Everybody was, good morning. Everybody was standing in my yard because that's where the bus stopped. Anyway, all us parents. And I'm like, man, do I need to go get some hors d'oeuvres or something? We have been waiting for so long. And so, somebody came back and they were like, they said, did you see the buses? And they said, bus where? I didn't see anything. all I saw was cars, and I'm like, that's crazy. So what they do is, parents want to pick the kids up, drop them off, and they discourage that over there because the traffic is insane. They purposely frustrate them, and that's what my friend was telling me. She was like, yeah, we purposely do that because it takes too long to dismiss these kids, and it shouldn't take that long because then they still have to go. That runs them behind for the middle school and for the high school. So it kind of ironed itself out. It ironed itself out. They are getting home at a decent time, and but again, they didn't even know any better. But what else? We had somebody come and say, this kid called me stupid. And now my kids are really smart. My kids, the way they handle things, a lot of kids are really resilient, but I could tell that they're fine because we talked about it and all that. But what I'm saying is they didn't come here crying and tear, boo. Some kids are just everybody. They're extra sensitive over stuff. My child was like, okay, I'm not stupid. Just brushed it off and kept going. It's like, what's wrong with that kid? Why is that kid talking like, don't they know any better? That's their attitude. So I'm like, okay, yeah. You guys heard one of my kids. I asked her about the kids because we saw the little kids in the classroom, and I mean little bitty kids. And so I asked, was there anybody bigger? And she said one, but my child looked like a giant compared to them kids. I was like, oh my lord, you know. Um, yeah, she looked like a giant. My baby is just towering. And my neighbor's little kid, little one, and she was like, she said, how old? What? And I said, yeah. And she was like, she's so tall. And I'm like, yeah, my kids are all tall. But anywho, what else did I want to say in this little segment? Like I said, I'm still gonna be putting up the videos. Sorry to interrupt. No problem. You're not interrupting. Everybody's welcome as long as you're respectful. I'm still going to be putting up videos and letting you guys know what's going along, with what's happening and, what we're doing and things like that. And like I said, if anything changes, I'll be sure to, come back and just kind of update and probably like in the middle of the year, do a little update on what's been going on there, and just overall feelings and experience thus far, because right now it's really nothing. It's really not too much to say. Like I said, I am gonna go ahead with the other video, just the whole process, because that's a whole experience in itself. The whole process of just getting there is more than just going to sign up and all that kind of stuff. um let's see. Time wise, wow, you guys, I already get up early, but you guys saw I'm up at 5:30 getting them, up. Take them like 15 minutes to eat. Lunch, oh my gosh, y'all, that's the one place that I gave myself grace in. If you have to go through this, I gave myself a lot of grace. I'm getting better, but y'all, I am not that person. Now, we cook lunch and have good lunch and all of that, but this school lunch, packing lunch thing is not my forte. They're eating. They're eating. They're fine. It's not full of junk food, but I did go prepackaged. You guys, I haven't put up Costco for this. I can't even say, well, that was August, because we go to Costco every couple of days or something for something. But I think I did film like before that, the week before, just trying to get that kind of stuff. It just blew my mind, and I just the other day figured out, because I underestimated everything. I had no idea what I was doing. I'm just like, okay, we can get this, this, and this, and big old box. You thinking that works, and then I'm like, something is not right. And we had already kind of talked about this. And I said, you know what? The food budget is about to go up. And my husband's like, no, it's just, they're going to be at school. It's no different. And I'm like, no, we're going to be out of more money buying, getting lunch stuff. And that just doesn't add up. Because, when you cook at home, it's just different than it's just different. And I'm like, I couldn't put my finger on it. But when I started running out of stuff, I'm like, wait a minute. This is not right. Sis, like I said, sis got to work. Okay? Because, yeah, this done set me back some coins. I'm like, man. So I got it down to a number because I'm looking at the boxes. I did send them some little chips, and I'm like, this says 54. That don't, when you think 54, but then when you have to split it up, that little box does not last a whole month. And I'm like, what did I do wrong? Y'all, I did not do the math. I sat down and added that stuff up. I think the only thing I could get by with one box, and that's just for them, is granola bars because they come in 96. So 96 is the number. We need 96 of stuff. And I'm like, do you know how many trips we going to have to make? Now, I like to go to Costco, but how many trips we going to have to make to get all this mess? Because I can't put all that stuff in the pantry. It just makes me nervous, even though it's huge. I don't want to have all that stuff in the pantry. But cases of this, cases of that, cases, and it's like, you guys, I had to teach them how to open the juice pouch because we don't do juices. I send them with the water bottle, and they have they have the little stations. They don't have the fountains. They have them fancy watering stations where you put the water bottle and push the button and fill it up. So germs, yeah. Um, Even though we do have experienced germs, but I had to teach them how to open up because they probably had a juice box every occasionally. So I bought the little stuff, and I'm like, here, to open this up, and this is what you're gonna have. So chips, they're not used to all that every day. But again, I did give myself some grace in that aspect. I didn't really care. They do have a snack, so that was another thing. I didn't. I know some of them have a snack. I just didn't realize it, but that was coming in on what do you call it? Meet the Teacher deal. People was bringing in the cases of the granola bars and the smart popcorn and I'm like, you got to bring all that with your school supplies, y'all. It's been how many years? 15, 16 years, I don't know, since I've been in the school. So it's all new, and I'm like, okay. They were dropping off, I just put theirs in their lunchbox, but they were bringing the case, which kind of makes sense. But if everybody did it, the teacher wouldn't have room in the classroom. But I get it. So I'm like, okay. So now I'm trying to reevaluate. I've been making up different lunch options and stuff like that for them because sis can't be buying 3 cases of chips and all that other stuff I figured out. I don't know. I don't know what I wrote down. Crackers and whatnot. I don't even know what's in here. I don't know where I wrote that stuff at. But yeah, we can't be doing that because that's just too much. All the fruit and grapes and stuff like that. That's just, yeah. Some of that stuff is out. Fruit snacks. I gotta get better. But just dealing with the change in pattern and stuff like that. I just said, I'm gonna do what I have to do. I have been making sandwiches, putting the sandwiches in the freezer. I put their juice in the freezer so that keeps stuff cold. They do have a cold pack, but they want stuff like mac and cheese. They're used to cook lunch, so that's what we're moving towards today. They asked for hot dogs, so I got them some hot dogs. Okay, that's fine. Um, but I don't know if this somebody might ask. I know that people do it. The lunch video. I look at some of that stuff, but it really doesn't pertain. But that's a lot of work. I'm not filming what they ate for lunch. I could just tell you guys, but just basic stuff like that. The one thing I didn't get yet was thermoses, and so they want stuff to go in thermoses. So I need to get them some thermoses, stuff for like soup and They don't even eat chicken nuggets, but I see that's what people do. I'll come up with something else. Maybe some like some rice and chicken, something like they eat. We eat food for lunch. We don't really eat sandwiches, but that's something I was not prepared for. So I just was like, here, take this. You'll be okay. Take your snack, and yeah. So they're good. They come home. They are full. Nobody's coming back hungry. Sometimes they have things left in the lunchbox, which is a good thing. And when did we switch out? I didn't get chips, even though we still have some. They wanted pretzels, so I gave them pretzels. We do carrots, celery, this stuff. But they eat. My kids are not like snackers, which I see a lot of these lunches on here are like little snacks. It's just little portions. They eat. So I have to make sure I do give them decent sized food. I think I might do quesadillas one day. You just wrap that stuff in foil. That's it. Nothing hard. But or I could just take it up there, at lunchtime. But I'm not about that life because I got stuff to do. So yeah, that's my biggest deal. Just a shift in what I'm doing. I'm a little bit busier. I have to make sure the hair's done. I have to make sure everybody's in bed at a certain time. Um, Shout out to our pediatrician that really helped them get on track with that. Because that was a big one. You guys know when you homeschool now, we don't stay in the bed all day, but just getting to bed sometimes. So we didn't. I wanted to kind of step it back gradually. Last month before, but it really didn't happen. But they didn't have any problem. They just, set the alarm clock. They were excited for the alarm clock. They get up and go. But attitude wise, like I said, there's one child that the whole ordeal, you guys, and I couldn't capture it, but one of my older kids, said it too, because they picked up on it. We all kind of did, and they were like, somebody asked them something, and they just kind of looked, I think it was the principal, just kind of looked, and it was just like, I don't know why the flip my mama got me up here. I do not want to be up here. I want to go home. I don't want to be bothered with y'all, and that's still the attitude right now. So it's like I can't. I don't know. I'm not gonna call it. I'm not gonna pull them out. I'm not gonna say anything. But it's just interesting. But the one thing I can say, the same child, and you guys, yeah, the same child is realizing that, not that we weren't serious at home, but you're not only competing with siblings now, you're competing with other children that are your age, and so the this is building work a good work ethic. Okay. Because we homeschool, and we have fun, and we're relaxed and stuff like that, but sometimes we get a little too relaxed, and it's like, okay, yeah, whatever. But now it's like, because we can't spend an hour and a half on language arts in school, but at home we can do that, or we could just do language arts that day and move on to math the next day. But in school, you can't do that. So they're realizing that, okay, I got to step up my game because this is serious. It's other kids watching. And so it's just interesting to see. But that attitude, boy, that attitude is something serious. And so every now and then we kind of say something and just, it's just interesting to hear them and their take on it. And so I think maybe like I said, probably in December, and then at the end of the year, I'm going to, I might film them and just have them kind of recap just to see, from this point to that point, their feelings and, their maturity and things like that, just to see what happened. But this is all an experiment. And so far, it's fun. I just kind of said to myself a little while ago before I started, this little chat is going to be fun. I have not heard anybody else that has done the same thing, whether it's an experiment or it's just something, the decision that they have made from here on out. If, Nobody's talking about it. Um, and nobody should feel less than or whatever for their decision. But I know there are people that will judge. And like I said, I just, yeah, don't even go there. Uh, you know, it's not broken. We're not trying to fix it. It works. And even if we had waited until, high school, it still would really not have made a difference. Even if I bring them back home full time, I don't see anything. You know, I've seen the kids come back and forth, and I know of one family. They are no longer here in the district in a school, but also a YouTube family. Okay, that brought their kids in from homeschooling and brought them home and brought them back to public school. Things like that. One of those situations. Like I talked about, somebody may uh, get ill and that type of thing. You do what you got to do as a family. You make your own. You do what works for your family. Do what works. But like I said, for moms that everybody's getting older. Everybody has a life, and I just, I want everybody to prosper, in a good mindset. Sometimes we go uh fall ill in our minds. I've seen, this happen a lot um on YouTube as well, and it's not healthy for the kids to be at home any longer. You got to do what you have to do for your health, your sanity, for your family. And it's easier, to just say, I'm not going to do this because you think somebody's going to judge you. Nobody's going to judge you. That's your family's choice. You need to do what you have to do for your family, and foremost for your health. If it's, debilitating you need to step up and say, I need to loosen these reins and hand them over. Even if you do what we're doing, you still homeschooling, but send them off so that you can get yourself, because this is a long haul. It's not a joke. And if you screw up, that's your child, your children's future. So, nobody comes in with instructions and know how to homeschool and, know everything. It's not going to hurt. It's not going to hurt at all to get help. Even if you have to go get a tutor, or you're going to a co-op or whatever, that's still help. If you're going to hybrid, these cottage schools, that's still some help. Get some help from somebody. That's all I'm saying. Don't sit there and think you have to do everything by yourself and you have no support other than somebody, even if your spouse is saying, well, you have to do this. I don't want them in there. You know what? Well, guess what? What part are you going to take over? Because you know what? Right about now, I'm kind of losing it. I can't. That's a lot to have to run home, take care of kids and homeschool and be married. That's a whole lot. And then if you work, that's a lot, a lot, a lot. Nobody should have that burden um, on their own. So, like I said, I had already started another project. That's what I'm working on. And I can say, I don't know, what did I do? I didn't vlog the first day they left. I was just sitting here like, okay, I was a little tired, but I was like, what am I supposed to do? I didn't know what the heck to do, because my kids have been with me since day one. So I was like, okay. Now I know I'm supposed to be working more in the day than at night, because you guys know I stay up at night and do a lot of my work. But I was just like, I have no idea what to do. I don't know. Um, I was just sitting here, but I enjoyed myself. I read, I watched some movies. I did what I did was something that was not work related. I enjoyed myself for maybe a couple days. I just chilled by myself. I didn't do too much. I just, because I was like, it was like freedom a little bit. And I'm like, I'm going to enjoy this. I want to have a good memory, a positive memory of this. And not saying that they were a burden or anything, but I just wanted some time to just decompress and not do anything. And the way I work is, I'm not the type to sit idle. So it didn't last that long, but just the fact of, yeah. But on the other hand, I was saying to myself, what on earth have I gotten into? Because the last day of school for them older kids, I was just like waiting for that day. I was so over it. And I was like, I do not want to have to hear any more alarm clocks ever in life again. And what did I do? I'm setting an alarm clock. I'm like, I didn't think about what I was doing, y'all. I just, yeah. But, we live and learn. We live and grow. That's what we do. So, all in all, like I said, it's a whole new ball game. Everybody's good. We haven't had any meltdowns. I did ask them, I tell them, hey, we miss you. Do you miss me? Yeah. Do you get sad? Yeah, a little bit. I do get sad, but I'm okay. And so I'm like, okay, you know, it's okay. Um, yeah, it's okay. But yeah, again, we do worry. We want to make sure everybody's okay. We did have one of the little, germs. My kids have not been sick in whatever. One of my kids just went back to school after went to school last Monday and was out the rest of the week, which is insane. But I was reading some stuff. My neighbor child did the same thing. Went to school one day and was out for like the until last Friday or something like that, Thursday or something. And I was like, she was like, yeah, he got sick. And I'm like, dang. And so that's the one thing that I was not looking forward to is all the illnesses and just as quick. And people are just like, yeah. So, I'm trying to keep them, but the germs, it's like crazy. That's the one thing I don't like about this. If I could trade anything else, that would be it. Because my kids just, once the older ones came out, nobody got sick. Nobody got sick at all. Once everybody came out, little ones came out the, expensive private stuff, school. Nobody was sick. We didn't have to worry about that. But now, we got to deal with this type of thing. So those school germs, girl, yes. So yeah, there's a little bit of something, but I hear a lot of you guys, are at home and the kids get sick, and I'm just like, or you get sick. We just, I think I told you guys once, and that was only because Javen was going to school. So he brought home something back in January, February, or something like that. That was the only reason why we got sick, and we hadn't been sick in years because he brought something back. So, yeah, I just got to keep them, got to have my oils and diffusers and all kind of stuff going. Um, yeah, so everybody is kind of cool and stuff like that now, and no other major issues. So I just, I'm trying to, keep track of what's going on and on a day-to-day deal, and then still trying to, do my lesson plans and stuff like that and stay on top of my stuff to make sure that I'm still not slacking and saying, okay, well, I put them in school, I don't have to do this. No, I do, because the teachers, the older kids as teachers, I told you guys about this, how they got what we did. I'm not doing anything different, because it worked. And they even applauded us, these kids acing these standardized tests. It wasn't anything that, all the kids in the class could have if my kids were in the same class as other kids. It was what we were doing at home. And all the teachers recognize that. So I have to do my job at home, because otherwise they're really not going to grow and thrive the way they can. It's just letting my guard down and, I'm just going to send them to school and be lazy. No, that's not me. No. The only thing, I'm not in the district anymore. I'm not teaching anymore. I'm not, that's one thing I'm not doing. But I'm saying it. I'm not. I got stuff to do. But they're fine. They are fine. I got my own projects I need to close out. I started something new, and I'm content. I have to, like I said, 45 years old. I'm not getting any younger. I have to grow. I have to grow. Life is too short, and I don't know. I'm just on a journey. I don't know where I'm gonna end up, but I can't waste days, and I'm not saying I'm wasting days by doing what I'm doing, but I need time. I need time. And ultimately, I'm pretty much the only one with all the kids. So in order to get my time, I have to do something. And I need a big chunk of time, because sometimes working on things a little bit at a time, it does work. But when you need to finish some things, because I'm not the type to sit like that. I need to see the light. I got to get to the light. So, I needed this time, and I've given myself this first 6 months to close out a lot of projects I'm working on. You guys know I also ghostwrite. So I work up under other people as well. So I have to, manage all kind of stuff. What that is. I don't know, I still have that on there. Are they just doing for the year or what? Right now, I don't know. I have no idea what they're doing. They may be back home tomorrow. I don't know. I don't have any expectation, really. Really? Oh. I don't know who that is. Let me see. If they call me back, they're going to be SOL, because who could that be? I don't even know who that is. That's from a whole different area code. I do not like answering a phone like that. Yeah, that's another thing. I don't even answer my phone. So it's like weird. Who is that? I text last night, and that was my husband texting me last night. I didn't even know. Probably was downstairs. I know it was still up. It was close to midnight. Um, but I didn't see it till this morning. Anyway, are they still? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. I have, it's a case by case, child by child situation. I have some, I have to come back on the other video. Like I said, it may be tomorrow when I come back, or maybe in a little while. It just depends on what I'm doing. Um, right now, I just got a little bit of laundry back there to finish up and stuff like that, but nothing really major. So I might come back and kind of explain some stuff. But one of the kids is not where I placed that child. Okay. Because what I did was I wanted to go in the end of the year and have the whole meeting deal before I made my decision, kind of. And y'all, I'm telling you, I was still up in there and didn't know what I was doing. Hold on, y'all. Let me see. Whoever this is did text me. Oh, wow. Hold on, y'all. This is urgent. And I know who it is. She's not even on this chat. Somebody in the hospital. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna end. But yeah, somebody is, I had to put them, put them where you want them. That type of deal. But somebody ended up not being where I put them. And so that's going to be in the next video. And so that I have to talking with my friends that taught in the school and stuff like that. We kind of talked about what it is, and she said, you know what, because there are a lot of there were, several families that come in, and say they've homeschooled, whether it's for a short time or, a little, a year or whatever. And the kids are somewhere and they're actually not. They're not even up to, they wouldn't be able to pass anything. She said, but you guys, I know what you're doing. I know what you have, and your kids are fine. So she was like, this is what you do. And I'm like, okay, because you know me, I just was like over it. When I heard that, I'm like, no, ain't nobody going. No, I'm bringing my kids back home. I'm not gonna have that. I can't deal. But I have to keep an open mind. We all, like I said, we all discussed it, and we still had difference of opinions in the house. You know, after that was said and done, everybody had a difference of opinion still as to where to put the kids, level wise. So I don't know. I just called it and left it, and that was it. And everybody was like, okay, they see what's going on. Um, are they pairing up? They are up there compared to what I'm seeing. They up there. They just fine. They are just fine. I made the right call. I'm so glad I did not do what I was encouraged to do by the school. That's the one thing I can say. I had to listen to myself. I had to be true. I had to really hone in and say, did you really get these kids up to where speed, where they needed to be and how they need to be? Or are you just trying to put them way ahead of everybody else? And that's what I was telling you guys earlier. I see a lot of that. And the truth is, whether it's the work shown or the child or whatever, you can tell in a vlog the maturity or the work or whatever. You can tell. Even the parent, you can tell. You can tell if that child is where that child needs to be. Okay? If the child's expectations or the parent's expectations are higher than where that child is developmentally or whatever, that shows a whole lot through these vlogs. Hey, girl, I got you. Silly. But yeah, you can tell. And so I just kind of put it all aside and was like, and I've never been like that. You guys know I don't sugarcoat anything. My kids have to know it or they don't know it. And that's just it. I'm not going to say they're this and they're not that. You know, you can't put no kindergartner, first grade up in the sixth grade type of, ish. But people will try to do that. And I'm like, Lord, have mercy. Throw a standardized test at them. Everybody got to take a test when they go to when they go to the SAT. They got to take a test. If they can't even get that, because that's different from what we do, and so that's what you have to face. They have to take these standardized tests. I don't care if it's you don't have Common Core or whatever. They're going to have to take tests. They got to take tests and quiz when they go to college. And if they can't even do that, stop trying to advance these kids farther than they are. Let them be. They are little kids. Let them be. Everybody's not going to get it. If they're going to get it, you're going to tell a child that's going to get it. Because I'm looking at one of my kids. We're talking about something. And the child is seemingly like this when it comes to some stuff. I know they get it. But it's like, I don't have that attitude. And then one of that same child started telling us about something just completely odd. Let me look at this. I'm looking at this battery because I think, yeah, the warning on the battery, and the child was like, the older child was like, where are you getting all this information? Child had memorized and could tell you all about the warning and why it's a warning and why you need to pay attention to the warning and all that about a battery, but couldn't do XYZ. And I was like, when you have kids that have these very special minds that work, and I'm like, that's what that is. I don't bother that child, even though it bothers me sometimes that child I know should be doing XYZ, but do it on their own time. It just, yeah. And I'm just like, leave that child alone. Telling my older one, to them, that's important. That's important to know about that. And who knows, what that is going to turn into. But, yeah. So in this case, like I said, they are all where they should be or above, where they should be pretty much. And I took a long, honest look, before I said this is where they're going. And most of the time, if you don't have if they don't know what to do, some of them will go by age, as according to where to put them. Some of them, they might want you to bring in, some samples, or they might test them, or, whatever. So that's why I say it's always good to be prepared in any kind of situation to figure out, what to do. But other than that, I am going to get off of here and make this phone call. And like I said, I, it was fun. It was fun. I really appreciate you all coming in and just sitting, just listening. And hopefully this is helpful to somebody, as well as the next, I'm not going to say a part two. I don't even know what I'm call it. I guess public school or school transition. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to call it. But you guys just know that I'm still getting out, the homeschool videos and stuff like that. I'm still going to, the kids ask me, it's me. I just sometimes don't be filming stuff. But they do ask, can you film this? Can you do this? Can you do that? So I'm going to continue to do that, and you guys will, get to see what's going on and what's happening as far as homeschooling and, the progress and stuff like that, because I'm not going to let this, little transition change. It's just time-wise, it's just a different little scenario. But, like I say, who knows what's going to happen? Somebody may come home, 2 may come home, 3 may come home, all may come home. I don't know. We just don't know. And yeah, I'm just trying to keep that, I don't want to just start something and then pull them out just because. So, I'm not that type. Like I said, I got everybody in this household is depending on me. It's hot, y'all. It's hot. Oh, I'm so cool. But you know what? Like I said, it's hot. I'm 45. My electric bill is my responsibility. The electric bill, y'all. I gotta work, y'all. I gotta work. My bill. Oh my gosh, y'all. They price gouging for real. This bill is like going up every month, $100, and I'm like, dude, this is dipping into my money, man. I got stuff to buy, man. I'm just like, when is it gonna be cold again? Because like I said, these hot flashes, I'm paying $450 something for an electric bill. Y'all, I'm just like, what? And then the lunch thing, this costing me too much. I can't, I don't know. I got to do something. But anyway, don't say don't say nothing about the light bill. Girl, yes. Oh, you know what I'm supposed to be doing? I'm going to go around here, unplug everything. Unplug the printer. I'm be like, cut off the lights. Because I'm like, for real? Y'all, I can't even, I'm over it. I'm over it. I wanted to go. I couldn't even go out to lunch. I don't know. I'm just like, man, because y'all know when I buy things, I have to have 3 times that amount. That has always been that's our thing. If I'm spending $1, I have to have $3 because I gotta have one to replace that dollar right away, and then I gotta have another one to save. So all this money that done went out in the course of a couple of days, I'm just like over it. I probably didn't show. I told you guys in the beginning I estimated about $1,000 worth of stuff because we don't do no budget. So you know what I gotta have in order for me to spend that $1,000 right there. And that was just the start. They only got 1 pair of shoes. I gotta go get shoes. But I'm just like, if I'm paying that much an electric bill and the month ain't even done, I'm telling my husband, he like, girl, you better pay that bill. And I'm like, God dog, can I get a little break for something? Something. Man, I don't get no break at all. But yeah, I got to pay the bill, y'all, or we're gonna be sitting in the dark. So I have to. I gotta work, but no, on the real, yeah, that really it has a little bit to do with why I'm working so hard and they over there and down the street. But yeah, that's just real facts, man. Sometimes you gotta go to work, and I know it's hard for us if you stand at home and it's only one income. That is really, really hard. But you know what? It's not the end of the world. Don't struggle like that. Make it easier the best way you can. A lot of you have homeschooled for a year, 2 years. It's okay. Everybody need money. Everybody needs money. Okay, you need money, and This sucker right here costs money. When you got to get for all the people in, and then get the tickets and all, this costs money. We need money. I'm not gonna say we rich. We need money. Okay? Yeah, we need money. We trying to go places, and I'm talking about serious places. So, for a little while they're gonna sacrifice. But I'm thinking, you know what? Probably this year go by, we might do next year, and then I might say, okay, I might switch them, but I'm not gonna tell them. I'm not gonna tell them because you guys still know I'm still working on the curriculum and trying to get the other school together and stuff like that. So I'm not telling them what's happening. I'm not gonna tell them at all what's gonna happen. Um, it's just not gonna work like that. But I'm gonna get off of here, y'all, and everybody be safe, be blessed, have a good school year, and keep looking out for the vlogs and the lives. Peace. Cut.